What would you do if in the middle of the night you received a phone call from someone who died 3 years ago? Would you answer it or let it ring? Tonight's story is about a single phone call that didn't just destroy one life, it changed the fate of an entire town forever. Stay until the end, because the ending is something you'll never forget. This story is created purely for entertainment purposes. It is entirely fictional and has no connection to real events or people. It was exactly 2:17 a.m. when Samir sat alone in his small apartment, finishing some work on his laptop. Heavy rain poured outside while thunder shook the entire city. Suddenly, his phone began to ring. The moment he looked at the screen, every drop of blood seemed to leave his face. The caller's name read, Aman calling. His hands started trembling because Aman, his childhood best friend, had died in a tragic car accident 3 years earlier. Samir immediately rejected the call, convinced it was some kind of cruel joke. But only a few seconds later, the phone rang again. The same name appeared on the screen. Gathering every ounce of courage he had, he answered. For several long seconds, there was nothing except the sound of slow, heavy breathing. Then a weak whisper finally broke the silence. "Samir, get me out. I'm still alive?" The call ended instantly. Samir couldn't sleep for the rest of the night. The next morning, he went to the old cemetery where Aman had been buried. As he wandered among the weathered graves, the elderly caretaker looked at him with frightened eyes and quietly said, "Son, the grave you're searching for has been ringing every night. Anyone who followed that sound never returned." Samir dismissed the warning as nothing more than an old superstition. But the following night, at exactly 2:17 a.m., the phone rang once again. This time the voice was much clearer. "Come to the old tree inside the cemetery. Hurry." Against his better judgment, Samir drove through the storm and entered the abandoned cemetery. Rain soaked his clothes while icy wind howled through the crooked trees. As he reached the ancient tree, the flashlight on his phone switched on by itself, revealing a rusty iron chain buried beneath the wet ground. The moment he touched it, he heard violent scratching sounds coming from underneath the earth, as if someone was desperately trying to escape. Just then, a message appeared on his phone. "Don't open it." Before he could react, another message arrived. "Please save me." Confused and terrified, Samir didn't know which message to believe. After several moments of hesitation, he grabbed the chain and pulled with all his strength. The ground cracked open, revealing a narrow underground tunnel. A freezing wind carrying the smell of decay rushed out from the darkness below. Holding his phone tightly, Samir slowly climbed into the tunnel. The walls were covered with dried blood stains and strange symbols carved into the stone. As he walked deeper, he suddenly froze. Standing ahead of him was Aman. He looked exactly the same as the day he died, except for one horrifying detail. His eyes were completely black. Aman smiled slowly and whispered, "You finally came." Samir turned to run, but the tunnel entrance had disappeared. There was nowhere to escape. Aman stepped closer and said in a chilling voice, "I'm not Aman. I'm the shadow that took his life." I only needed one more soul. Before Samir could move, the creature snatched his phone from his hand. The screen lit up by itself. A new contact appeared under the title Next Caller. It displayed the phone number of Samir's younger sister. Samir screamed and lunged for the phone, but invisible hands suddenly gripped his body, holding him completely still. The darkness swallowed everything. The following morning, police found Samir's phone lying beside the old cemetery. but Samir himself had vanished without leaving a single trace. When officers turned on the phone, they discovered only one recording. It was Samir's terrified voice screaming, "Never answer the phone!" The recording ended. Immediately afterward, the phone started ringing on its own. The screen displayed an incoming call, and the caller's name belonged to the police officer's best friend, a man who had died 1 year earlier. According to local legend, everyone who answered that mysterious call disappeared within days, never to be seen again. Even today, if your phone rings at exactly 2:17 a.m., and all you hear on the other end is slow breathing, hang up immediately, because the next name that appears on the screen might be yours.